stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I'll be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. There's no you are. Line up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show who's in charge. Call me a shooting star.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Your boy Master Chief Destroyer here. Sorry I haven't uploaded in the past few days. I've been kind of busy preparing for a garage sale that I'm having. But anyways, I'm here to do 7 makeup videos for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. This one is posted by user Original Hot Sauce about 8 hours ago. EM and EK tag team gaslighting my girlfriend and me for movie tickets. When that doesn't work, EM called. Oh, I'm gonna say that. Somehow that doesn't produce the desired outcome. Sup, TLDR at the bottom. I'm not sure what that means. Somebody in the comments let me know. My girlfriend is super into Marvel, and while I'm a casual fan, I decided to surprise her with 2 tickets to see the Infinity War the day after it came out. The only time not sold out was the 8:30 a.m. show, so we busted our butts out of bed at 7 a.m. to get breakfast beforehand. We each used a vacation day worth it to make it a girls' day. My girlfriend owns a car, so she picked me up. We drove through a Starbucks for coffee. Sorry, I can't talk. She's tired but excited, like a little kid in a candy store. Like a kid in a candy store. You know the players. Me, GF, EM, and EK, 12 through 14, and for some reason F. We pay for our parking and head inside. So far, so good. On the way in to cash in our tickets, we see a mom with a teen girl who look a little lost. I assume the daughter had the day off school, or maybe her mom worked at the theater. My girlfriend, ever the compassionate soul, reached out to them. Hey, are you looking for someone? Yeah, where do you buy the movie tickets? That's a fair question, honestly. Blah, I can't even talk, good lord. That's a fair question, honestly. The movie theater is in a complex of sorts. The movies themselves are on the 3rd floor of this building. While bars and restaurants and even a karaoke place are available on the 1st and 2nd floors. Sorry, guys. You can either buy them there, I point to a line of touchscreen computers, or on the 3rd floor. Thanks. Turning to EK. Alright, EK, let's go. We go up the escalators with the EM and EK close-ish behind us. I just assume they're buying tickets upstairs, and I don't even think my girlfriend noticed. She was too excited, really. My girlfriend and I made a quick stop to double check we each have our tickets when EM walked up to us. Thank you for your service, but we are okay now. She's holding out a $5 bill and looking at my girlfriend's ticket. I'm sorry, what are you doing? What are you talking about? You walked us to where we need to go, so now we'll take our tickets. She's standing next to her mom and puts her hand on her right hip while she says that as if I'm the dummy for not knowing. We're not selling tickets. Original Hot Sauce bought these on Thursday. I'm sorry if you thought I was a greeter, but we're customers like you. The check-in area behind you is where you can get tickets. You should have said that before. How are we supposed to know? We even had a tip for you guys. Were you just going to rob us like that? I assume the tip she meant was the $5 in her mom's hand. I grabbed my girlfriend's hand and tried to shoulder past the pair before EM gets in my face. Keep in mind, it's barely past 8 a.m. Listen, you F words. We can do this easy way or the hard way. I know that I don't know what she's going to say at that point, but I heard enough. I stood my full height and snapped my neck down, looked directly into her eyes, cutting her off. Listen, C-word, these are our tickets. You don't like it? Tough. Maybe if you or your daughter had a job to purchase tickets, you wouldn't have to intimidate strangers at 8 a.m. to try and get into a movie you can't afford. EK, surprised that mommy's plan to get tickets didn't work. What's your problem, B? You. I know the manager. I'll have you banned for life. With that scene, we walk away to get our tickets, processed, and then find our assigned seats. I never did find out if the EM and EK got tickets in. I hope not. TLDR, EM and EK pretended to not know where to buy tickets to Infinity War to trick us into giving them our tickets. When that doesn't work, EM resorts to homophobic slurs and as an intimidation tactic also didn't work. Edit grammar. Honestly, some people. Oh, God. This one was posted by, I don't even, BU underscore, I have no idea. Entitled teacher tells student to break up with his girlfriend and date her daughter. Short. Oh, boy. This is a really short post, more of a report than a story. Moreover, this didn't happen to me, but my younger sister's boyfriend marked BF. Other girls pinning after BF and or harassing my sister out of jealousy is nothing new. From what I understand, he's considered a bit of a prize, but this takes the effing cake. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a teacher at our school, I don't actually know whom, so I'll just call her E.T., who repeatedly urged BF, a 9th grade student, to break up with his girlfriend, my sister, and go out with E.T.'s daughter, another student. On top of this being pretty effed up, it's in its own right. E.T.'s been keeping in touch primarily on Snapchat. Of course, the answer is no every time, but she's apparently pretty headstrong. This is clearly grounds for some serious reprimand if E.T. gets reported, so there's hope. But it just pisses me off to no end that even an adult, a teacher no less, can be petty as any other envious high school girl. This one was posted by user Cubbing with Alex. EP gets mad at me because the classes are running on schedule, then calls my mom, the manager, a stupid trainee. Oh my god. Okay, so because my first post about my mom's work was liked so much, here's another one. By the way, this happened literally 5 minutes ago, which means I'm still out of the house and I'm typing this on mobile. My mom runs and owns all the establishment classes in the entire of local vicinity. And she covers classes when a coach can't make it, or etc. So whenever she's coaching, the kids who don't usually know her. Oh, sorry, I had to yawn again. And the parents think she's a trainee. MM equals my mom. EM is I don't care, or I don't know. My mom had finished the first of 3 classes on schedule and started the next one also in schedule. In enters EM. Lily, why have you started without us? Gestures me to finish the warm-up while some major S goes down. Then walks over. Well, we need to stay on schedule for the classes as we have another one after this. No, not acceptable. You should have waited. Well, insert EM's clueless child's name here. Is still welcome to join. No, you stupid trainee. Put me in contact with your manager so he can fire you. I'm leaving. And she left with her kid, following behind, but not before my mom could shout out, oh yeah, I am the manager. Red Flacco. It was at this moment EM knew. Sheep dub. Fucking love that meme. Oh dear God. EM tries to guilt me into having more kids. Oh dear God. Not this again. EM is my mother, Me is me, brother is brother, H is husband. Oh boy. Backstory. After a long debate, H and I had decided that we'd only have one kid. EM has always been about how she'd like lots of grandkids after my sister was diagnosed with ovarian cancer after the birth of her first child and had to undergo a hysterectomy? Did I say that right? Because I don't know if I said that right. Hysterectomy? I don't know. I think I did. I don't know. So naturally, EM started on B and I about having grandkids. Sadly, B committed suicide in 2012. Oh, man. Story: about a year after B died, EM and I were having coffee and discussing life in general. You know me, now that B is gone, you're going to have to give me more grandkids. And how does that work? You know H and I only want one kid. Yeah, I know, but I really wanted more grandkids. I get that, EM, but I really don't want more than one. Gets a wistful look on her face. You and H would be great parents, though. I know, EM, but we're still only having one. Would you consider more? Nope, one is enough. You sure? I always thought I'd have more grandkids. Getting annoyed now? Seriously, EM, I'm having one and that's it. Huffs and changes the subject. The conversation goes on repeat until about 2 years ago when H and I had announced that we were not having kids. EM gets quite and honestly a little sulky, then bingos me until I snap and tell her my reasons, my health, that we're having kids, and she finally sort of accepts it. Oh, brother. Oh my god. This one was posted by user Alicia Nicole 17. By the way, Alicia, if you're reading this, shout out to you. Entitled mom gets mad after my dad tells her to get off our property. In my town, I live out in the orchards, and there are a lot of U-picks and crop? I've never actually heard that before. That's a new one near me. One of them being right next to my house, and once it's around May and June, can't even talk, good lord. People from everywhere come to pick fruit. We always have to put out no parking signs and caution tape so that people don't park on our property because it's happened before. We only have a small entrance for field workers. I guys had to yawn. Oh, dear lord. That's like the 5th time today. Where was I? Crap, since we're renting that part of the land to a farmer that my parents are friends with. Some of the U-Picks customers are nice and understand whenever one of my siblings or I tell them that they can't park here, but others are rude and yell at us. But this story in particular stood out to me and happened last summer. So my dad and I had to go to the store to grab some things for our BBQ. And it took almost 20 minutes to get through because people were clogging up the road. But as my dad kept driving, we noticed a minivan parked right on our property. The lady with a box of strawberries started walking over to the car. She said, "Can I speak to your manager?" Haircut and a pissed off look, so I already knew this was going to be fun. My dad decided to call out to her and let her know that she's parked on our land. Entitled lady is EL and D is dad. "Excuse me, ma'am, are you talking to me?" "Yes, I am. I'm just letting you know that you're parked on private property and I have to ask you to please leave." "This isn't private property. Who are you to tell me where I can park?" "It's private property and I want you to leave." "Oh, lighten up, will you? There's no other parking spaces." "I'm sorry to hear that, but you aren't supposed to be parked here. Did you not notice the no parking signs and caution tape?" "Just lighten up, will you? I already talked to the owner of this property, and he said it was perfectly fine to park here." "Really? You talked to the owner? Who is he?" "The U-Pick man. He's the owner, and I talked to him. He said it was fine." Points towards the U-Pick. "That's funny because I'm the owner, and I have never met you until now since you parked on my property. Now, would you please leave, or I will call the sheriff since you're trespassing." "Just lighten up, sir. I was going to leave anyway. Just lighten up. I'm leaving." "Good. I don't want you there." She scoffed and got into her car, and finally we were able to get through and leave the area. My dad and I laughed it off on the way to the store. That's actually really funny because this was a story that happened to me like not too long ago. I was riding my bike down towards my grandparents' place one time, coming back from like a friend's house, when I saw like this lady looking at our house, and I'm thinking like, what the hell? So as I'm going to go put my bike in the garage, I managed to close the garage up. As I'm going towards the front door, she's like, well, you can't be up here. I'm like, yes, I can. This is my grandparents' place. She's like, well, no, it's not. It's my uncle's. Really? What's your uncle's name then? Oh, John. I'm like, Grandma, Grandpa, we got another one. Lo and behold, she calls the cops later, and Grandma and Grandpa explain to her, the cop, that they've been there since, oh God, I don't even know how long they've been there. I don't know, it was probably a while, but and around this time, my dog Honey was there. She's looking at the lady growling at her. And they say, Honey, heel. She sits down, still pissed off at the lady for daring to say that this wasn't our home. Lo and behold, the cops look up the deed to the house, and sure enough, it was my grandma and grandpa's house. And she starts having a fit, tries to attack me. That's where Honey drew the line, and she bit her. Then she tried to kick my dog, and I got in front of her and pushed her back. And screamed at her, don't you ever kick my dog again. I basically gave her the death glare. Boy, you guys should have seen the look on her face. It was hilarious. Oh, God. But anyways, back to the video. Oh, this I gotta see. EP tries to skip the line to see, the Avengers Endgame. Entitled Dad, ES is entitled Son, D equals my dad, M is my mom, S is my sister, IE is IMAX employee. Okay, so I just saw Endgame. Yes, it was amazing. Please no spoilers in the comments for those who have seen it. My family recently got an IMAX Movie Club membership, meaning we get priority seating at movie openings, discounts on concessions, and free documentary watchings. So of course we sprung on the opportunity to see Endgame with priority seating, as we had gone to see Solo the year before. We got pretty shitty seating and didn't want a repeat of what happened before. We were waiting in line as the employees just opened the theater for us IMAX Movie Club membership holders. Jeez, that's a mouthful. Dude, you're telling me, good lord! And we were waiting for the IE to check our tickets and membership cards. Now, each membership holder can bring one guest, which is important because as we were in line, a guy rested his hand on my mom's shoulder until she turned around to acknowledge him. And here's how the conversation went, even though it's not on there. ED, hey, my son really wants to see this movie. I was wondering if you'd be willing to take us in as guests, as we can't afford the stupid memberships. In the background, Daddy, I want to see Iron Man. Oh my God. That reminds me of another story that I will probably put on here sometime later. My mom says, I'd love to help, but it's unfair to those who are also waiting in line. Doesn't respond and instead grabs the hand of his child. My mom turns back around and thinks it's the end of it. Right as we reach the point where the IE can check our tickets and cards, the entitled dad slithers up behind us. I'm also their guest as well as my son here. Is this true? My mom and dad exchanged glances, communicating which one of them said ED and ES would be their guest. No, I haven't ever seen these people before in my life. My mom nodded. That's not true. ES and S are best friends. ES and S did look to be about the same age, so it's believable. To make it seem even more believable, ES ran up and hugged my sister. S pushed him away. Actually, ES tried to take my iPad while I was watching the original Avengers while waiting in line earlier. At this point, both of my parents are glaring at ED, who's realizing he's running out of options. He makes one more pitiful attempt. No, I mean her, points to me. Yeah, no, I don't know you. Get lost. Look, I don't want to kick you out of the theater, but go wait in the regular line. Entitled dad grabs entitled son, and drags him to the end of the regular line, while he's kicking and screaming all the way, saying how he wanted to see Iron Man. IE apologizes and allows us into the theater. Entitled dad wants his son to get in priority seating and tries to do it by asking people to say they're guests. It fails. I swear to effing God, if anyone spoils this again, I'm going to lock the thread. No effing spoilers on my watch. Yeah, that makes sense. Is there anything else on here? Oh, this I gotta read. This one was posted by user Wilbo Peep. Oh. I feel like that's a reference to something. Somebody in the comments, let me know down below what that means. Or what that reference is. I'm sorry. God, I cannot talk today. Sorry if I don't format this right. This is my first time posting here. Here's our amazing cast. Me is me. EM is entitled mom. OG is other guy, I don't know, sitting next to me. K is EM's kid. So today I was taking a train to go see my buddy. I boarded and got a seat and OG sat next to me when he boarded. We didn't talk at all. We were just sitting, waiting to reach our destinations. Eventually, he goes up to the bathroom and leaves, but moves his bag onto his seat to show it's taken while he is gone. A minute or so later, Ian walks up to the seat and asks me if I can move my bag. Yeah, excuse me, sir, could you please move your bag so I can sit near the stairs to the exit? Oh, I'm sorry, the bag isn't mine. Okay, don't play this isn't my bag game. It's very rude. No, I'm not lying. The guy sitting there is in the bathroom. Would you could please ask him to move it to another spot when he returns? I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. I don't know him. Why not? I want to sit here with my son. I told you I don't know him. There are plenty of open seats. Don't you want to sit next to your... No, I want to sit here. He could sit in my lap. Mom, I want to sit down. OG arrives. Right as she's about to get really mad. I'm sorry, is there a problem here, miss? Yes, sir. This person right here won't move his bag. Please escort him away. She thought he worked for the rail company. I'm sorry, ma'am, but this is my seat, but I'll reach my destination soon, and you are welcome to take it after. You two young men are very rude. Plotting against an old lady like this. She's not old. She's like 40, probably. You should respect your elders. Eventually, the ticket guy comes and asks her to move away and stop bothering us. It would have been a happy ending, but then he gave her the big disabled person area to herself so she wouldn't cause a scene or something. Okay, that guy needs to fucking lose his job. That's bullshit. Unreal. That also reminds me of something that happened to me. I can't remember when this was, like a few years ago before I moved into my place that I'm at now, but I took an Amtrak down to Glacier National Park, right? And as I'm sitting there, my staff was next to me, and I was just kind of minding my own business, listening to some music I had on a CD player. You guys ever seen like those burn discs or whatever? I had all my favorite songs on there, and I was just listening to it. I think I had like 4 of them at one point. But, So, as I'm sitting there, my headphones are in, this lady literally walks up to me, pulls my headphones off my head. She's like, excuse me, could I sit here with my son? I'm like, lady, I honestly don't know how to tell you this, but, this is on a CCRI field trip. We're heading to Glacier National Park for a few days. She's like, well, that doesn't matter. I want to sit here. Like, lady, I'm not moving. She then attempts to try and grab my CD player, which I managed to yank away from her. And her son's like 8 or 9. I'm like 14 and 3 times his size and taller. I think he was like 5'4". I was 6'2". Pretty big height disadvantage, if you ask me. And I don't know. It was a really, really messed up altercation. Eventually, the person who was doing ticket checks eventually kicked them off the train and asked if I was okay. I was like, yeah, I'm good. And before all this happened, little kid has the gall to literally stand up on the seat and sock me in the face. Now, my morals were still in check at that time, and they still are to this day. I don't hit anyone that's literally younger or anything, because I could literally go to jail for that. And, well, let's just say the EK and the EM were later found out to be people who were banned from the train and tried to change their name so they could get on. Meanwhile, when the ticket master came up and told me that, I laughed my ass off. That was the most funniest fucking thing in the world. But also bear in mind, guys, those Amtrak trains, their seats, they're not comfortable. I woke up with a killer back pain, dude. Like, not even joking. Oh, this I gotta read. This one was posted by user AmeriFreedom76 about 20 hours ago. This one is called Crazy Lady Berates Me from the Highest of High Horses. Oh, dear God. Okay, so entitled People Stories. First time posting here. I'm on mobile. You know the drill. So I have a French bulldog who is a service dog in training. My parents got her for me from a lady who wasn't able to take care of her. I needed to get her off her hands. So while she isn't technically rescue or shelter, she also isn't technically from a breeder. Not that I have an issue with people getting dogs from breeders, but this info is important to the story. I was walking with my dog, who at the time was a little puppy, kind of still is, on the sidewalk in the little town I live in. It may be small, but it's always crowded, a mix of locals and people from the massive city and it neighbors. She was getting a lot of attention, and I would stop and let people pet her. I'm okay with people petting her as long as they are respectful and I'm not on the edge at the time. I didn't know most of the people, but since the town I live in is so small, I had seen some of them at some point. Most of them were old guys I see hanging out at the coffee shop all the time, or little kids excited to see a puppy. I get a little further down the block when a random lady stops me. At first, she was nice. She was telling me how French bulldogs are one of her favorite breeds, and I tell her that how funny and cute they are to have. But then it all goes downhill. See, creepy lady, me, you guessed it, for context, I'm a 16-year-old guy. She was, oh my God, middle-aged. I would totally get a Frenchie, but I only get rescues and shelters. Yeah, it's hard to find rescue Frenchies because they are such a popular and expensive breed. Well, it's too bad you didn't get a rescue. I've gotten probably 20 rescues over my lifetime. Well, actually, we looked to try and find a Frenchie on a rescue network, but they didn't come up often, and when they did, they had health issues I'm just not equipped to take care of. I'm sure you could have found one. Too bad Frenchies are so overbred. It's a shame they even still breed dogs that are so prone to health issues. Note, yes, French bulldogs sometimes have an issue with overbreeding or poor breeding, and are prone to health issues, but only if they're from a puppy mill or bad breeder. A lot of other dogs have the same health issues and they can often be avoided. The way she said it and the fact that I didn't know her made it very rude. I don't care. Leave me alone. I couldn't. I needed a young and healthy dog as she's my service dog in training. Once she's old enough, we're getting her fully trained. She's already certified by my doctor. Well then, why did you get a Frenchie? You could have easily rescued another breed of puppy. There are many reasons I got a Frenchie. It was the best option for me and my family, but either way, it's none of her business. I mean, yes, I could have gotten another breed, but if you love Frenchies as much as you say, why do you have such an issue with people getting them? I don't care if they're rescues. It's humane to get a dog from a breeder. I didn't get her from a breeder. I got her off Craigslist from someone who couldn't take care of her. All Frenchies come from a breeder at some point. Wouldn't you rather them not end up in a kennel in the first place? Whatever. Just know that because you got it from a breeder, another shelter dog is going to die. You don't even need a service dog. You aren't blind. I just left at this point. I was done with her. While it was important to save rescues and shelter dogs, not everyone has the ability to get one. I did look long and hard for a rescue Frenchie, but due to the fact that I needed one as a psychiatric service animal, I wasn't able to get one. Keep in mind, one of the conditions that prompted me to get her is my anxiety. The lady berating me and my dog didn't really help that. That's messed up. Anyways, guys, I'll be right back. I gotta go grab something. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, hit the bell next to my subscribe button so that way you never miss a video. That way you'll become part of Hashtag Destroyer Nation and Notification Squad. And I will see you guys in the next video. Keep on rocking Destroyer Nation. Peace out.
Then to call back. I miss your call. I finally think I'm fine with that. I know it hurts when love bites back, but it's your fault. I wish you'd just accept that. Got a better place to be when the only focus is me. Being weightless, got me feeling like I'm flying. I've been holding on to these dreams. I'm ready to take the lead, 'cause I've been holding back in all the stars. Your mistakes of future, all the skies, they will all look blue. One sacrifice, two more pieces of me.
Bye! Oh, and sorry for the black screen. My phone kind of timed out.